Today we're going to be taking a look at the Cactus Jack Air Max 1. As we all know, there was a lot of drama around this sneaker and still a lot of question marks to this day on what's going to happen with this release. My friends over at UNTIED LA sent me a pair in each colorway so that way we can get a full in-depth review and take a look at the shoes, breaking them down with the styles, cuts, and materials, and talk about the heritage behind the creation of this shoe. So if you didn't know by now, my name is DJ and this is the DNA Show. On this channel, I love breaking down sneakers like this and showing you guys all the difference between the OGs and the retros. So if you haven't already, consider subscribing. We are very close to 1 million subscribers and you could be the next one to get us there. So what I'm gonna do first is unbox both of these shoes real quick, give you guys a quick look at the paper and all the stuff that comes along with it, and then we can dive into the shoes. So as you can see right here, you have an all over tan box and it says Cactus Corporations, and then you have the Cactus Jack logo right here, the C and the J. And then on the side of the box, you have the Nike with the branding, the Nike on the front, and then Cactus Corporations on the side as well. Looking at the size tag, it reads Nike Air Max 1 CJ for Cactus Jack, and the colorway is Saturn Gold Tea Tree Mist Tint. Retail is 160 bucks. Flipping open the lid of the box, you have, it looks like the same print that you saw on the top of the box is actually an all over print on the paper. You got some more white paper, and then you got the shoe. Oh, you got the shoe. Now, before I dive too deep into this shoe, let's go ahead and crack the other box open as well. So as you can see right here, you have pretty much everything is the same when it comes to the box. Size tag reads a little bit different because it's a different colorway. Nike Air Max 1 CJ, again for Cactus Jack, and then Baroque Brown Lemon Drop Wheat. Retail also 160 bucks. Flipping open the lid of the box, you got the same exact paper, you got the white paper, and then you got the shoe. Oh, you got the shoe. Okay, now that we got both shoes unboxed, let's talk about first impressions of these shoes. I've seen these before, I've had them in hand before, I know what the materials are like, and it is a quite interesting mix when it comes to the materials, especially this loop pattern that they have done on the swoosh, which we'll get into in a little bit. But overall, I'm not mad at it, but still, it's just not a shoe for me. And I'll get into my full impressions as to why I feel that way later in the video. But for now, let's talk about a little bit of the history of this sneaker and why there's so much controversy around it. So as we all know, this is based off of the Air Max 1, which is an OG model that everybody knows and loves. And if they don't love it, they still respect it simply because it's just so nostalgic. And like we typically see when it comes to Travis Scott collaborations, he always take a model that's already iconic and then he puts his twist on it and makes it a little bit better or gives it that earth tone vibe to it, and now everybody loves it. And I think the reason why a lot of people love his sneakers is because his influence on the game and what he has done in the fashion and music world. But we know there has been a lot of controversy after the Astrofest, and that's why they never end up releasing this shoe. These were supposed to release the weekend of Astrofest, and we know there were some crazy tragedies during that time. And again, my heart goes out to all the families and the people that were lost or hurt or injured or whatever it may be that was affected by the Astrofest during the last year. So for all the people that were on the outside looking in, they were expecting to see this shoe release on Sneakers app and at limited stores to be able to have their chance to get the shoe, but then they ended up canceling the whole drop, and because of that, it's caused a sneaker like this to shoot up in value because now everybody wants to get their hands on something that they can't get their hands on. So that kind of gives you a backstory on who the shoe was created by and what it was for, and then why it didn't come out. Now let's break down the styles, cuts, and materials and talk about what this shoe is inspired from to create this look. So as you can see on these two shoes side by side, everything is pretty much identical. That's why I'm doing this video together, because the only thing that's really different is going to be the colors. So like typical fashion, I'm gonna start from the bottom of the shoe and work my way up, and then we'll talk about all the different styles, cuts, and materials along the way. Starting from the outsole, as you can see, you have an all brown outsole with a small Nike swoosh here, Cactus Corporation in the center of the back end of the foot, and then you kind of got that tree branch vibe when it comes to the outsole on the front end of the foot, and it almost looks like a tire on the back end of the foot. Going to the midsole, you have your same exact vibes when it comes to the Air Max 1, but this has a different twist. They don't actually show the air unit, they cover that up, and you got a two-tone hit right here with a brown on the top and a tan on the bottom, and this right here is more of a yellowish color with a tan on the bottom. Looking at the toe of the shoe, you have a similar cut to the Air Max 1. It looks like they just added a little bit more material and another patch here around the front end of the toe as well. These come with a very fine suede around the toe and the medial part of the foot, and on here you have a darker brown with a lighter brown in the center of the foot, and this one is pretty much identical when it comes to the colors all throughout the upper. Now some people have been asking about the questions when it comes to the straps that you see here and pulling around the top end of the shoe. You're able to use this to lace your shoe and make it a little bit tighter and a more sturdy and a snug feel when you're rocking the shoe. But why do they even have that, and where did that come from? The ACG pocket knife is a shoe that came and went about 20 years ago, and we haven't really seen much of it in current time, and not that many people talk about it. But when you look at that photo right there, you can't say they don't look pretty close to these, huh? So although we may call Travis Scott a creative genius, whatever it may be, there is always inspiration from OG stuff before we see the stuff that comes out today. And I don't care what anybody says, that's just naturally how it goes. Even when it comes to music, Drake, Kanye, you name it, they are built off of samples from OG songs, making it with a little bit of a twist, giving it that modern touch. Next thing you know, the people that never heard of the OG before is thinking this is the latest, greatest thing. And I ain't mad at them. Don't get me wrong. I'm not mad at them. But just remember that there's always inspiration from stuff from the past. But anyways, enough of my rant of why we should care about OGs. Let's talk about the tongue real quick and the materials and the lacing system and all that. So as you can see right here, you got a rope lace with a two-tone tint. You got the red with the white. And then on here, you kind of got that green with that more of a kind of purplish tint to it. Then you got a solid brown lace that comes with the shoe, and then a solid more of a gray color lace that comes with the shoe. And then on the tongues of these, you have the Cactus Jack logo that we saw in the box, both on each of these tongues. And on the inside, you got your old Cactus Jack branding on one foot and the Nike Air branding on the other foot. Now looking at the back end of the shoes, you got a little twist. These are kind of like the pennants that you may see for like baseball or something that people hang up on their walls, with the Nike here and the Cactus Jack on the other side. Now I think one of the most interesting parts of this sneaker to me is the swoosh. If you look at the swoosh right here, you can actually move these little things and they look like beads, but they're actually little plastic loops that they're kind of like yellowed already, but they're these little plastic loops that are attached to the upper. And it's crazy to see how these were all put on here and how they were able to do this, because it's kind of like a satin material behind it and that's all embroidered in. I think that's a nice little touch. Again, I feel like I've heard about something about the inspiration behind this swoosh, but I don't remember exactly. So if you know how this swoosh was created or what it was inspired by, let me know down below in the comment section. So for this next part of the video, I'm gonna explain to you guys how I feel about the shoe and what the results are for what everybody else thinks about the shoe. So what I normally do is post a poll on my story to ask people if they think the shoe is fire or trash. Then I post the results here on the channel and give you guys the impressions. So if you haven't already, make sure you follow me on IG so you can participate in the polls and see all the results here on the channel. This is what the people said. When it comes to the Saturn Gold colorway right here, 63% of the people said fire and 37% of the people said trash. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it was more closer to 50-50, but I get it. There's a lot of hype and demand and all this other false things that go along with it, but I understand. I get those numbers. Now, when it comes to the Baroque brown colorway, I know for a fact, me personally, and a lot more people like this colorway as well. So I'm expecting the numbers to be a little bit higher on this one, and they were. 73% of the people chose fire and 27% of the people chose trash. And one thing that I think is extremely crazy about this is we've done polls on every single shoe that we do on this channel, and we see results in the 80 and 90 percentile on retros that are coming out, and they might be worth 280 bucks, 300 bucks, 350 bucks, something like that, right? This shoe right here, because of the whole situation and the shoe hasn't came out yet and all these other factors, and based off of the results, you would think that people wouldn't really value it that high, right? Wrong. Each one of these sneakers are currently going for around $1,500 a piece. That's $3,000 for the set. And I think in my mind, wow. This is just crazy. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand why somebody collects these shoes simply because they have the Air Force Ones, they got the Jordans, they got the other retros and all the stuff that's going on, and they want to complete the set. I understand that. But for $1,500, I don't know about that one, bruh. But again, that's my personal opinion, how I feel. Their shoe is 160 bucks. If I could get it for somewhere around 300 bucks or something like that, I wouldn't have a problem with it. I'd be like, you know what, I'll grab it, add it to the collection. But for $1,500 a piece, oh no, oh no. So again, let me know your thoughts and opinions about these two shoes, which one you like more, and if you think these will ever come out again. Because as of right now, it sounds like a lot of people saying that Travis Scott is gonna be canceled and his shoes are never going to come out again, and because of that all his shoes are going to go up in value. But we don't know the entire situation. We don't know what's going on internally at Nike, what they plan on doing, if they're going to hold off for a year or two, and based off of the crowd and what the people think later, if his stock is going to go down because of it and then people no longer want the shoe. All I know as of right now, we're going to find out and time is going to tell. So that's going to do it for me on this end, and shout out to Untied LA for sending these shoes out here so I can give you guys a full in-depth review. If you guys want to pick these up or other pairs that they have available, make sure you check out their website, and don't forget to use the discount code DNASHOW. That'll get you free shipping for checkout, and I'll make sure that I have the link for you guys down below in the description. And don't be surprised if you see some more kicks coming in the mail from them, because I got a couple things on the way. All right, y'all, I'll see you in another one. I'm out. Yo, if you enjoyed this video and want to grow your collection or make extra money on the side, I built a VIP mastermind that will teach you everything that I've learned about growing my sneaker collection over the past 15 years. This will also give you access to the DNA fam in my VIP community where we talk about investing outside of sneakers. And don't worry, if you don't plan on joining the VIP community, it's okay. I also set up a private DNA fam community that gives you access to all the behind the scenes looks from the studio and multiple chances to win free sneakers and gear from weekly and monthly challenges. So all you need to do is click on the link down below in the description or the first link pinned in the comment section. That will get you set up and into the community. I'm excited to see you guys on the inside. If you made it to the end of this video, drop a comment down below and let me know if you had $200, what shoe would you buy right now?